Here it comes, seeing this front fascia, the badge, and the 1.6-liter inline-4 engine. I bet 90% of you can guess that this is the 5th generation Volkswagen Golf MK5, launched in 2003. As for the Golf, you're probably quite familiar with it, as it's an absolute legend. Compared to its predecessor, this MK5 features massive upgrades. It heavily adopts a truly sporty architecture, such as a multi-link rear suspension, increased chassis rigidity, and modern electronics. It also introduced the DSG dual-clutch transmission and the FSI direct fuel injection we just saw on the engine. Back then, anyone test driving the MK5 felt this ordinary commuter car drove remarkably like a renowned hot hatch. Of course, the MK5 had its own GTI performance trim. However, many buyers of the standard 1.6 version love to swap its looks for the GTI kit. So today, our diecast restoration guru Shuj will not only restore this standard MK5 but also upgrade it into the mighty GTI version. After completely dismantling the diecast model, Shuj applies a paint stripper gel to the body shell to remove the old paint. You can see the old paint quickly bubbling and loosening up as the gel breaks down its molecular structure. In this state, the old paint peels off easily. Since there is still some rust and stubborn residue, our rotary tool is needed to grind them away. Once cleaned, it's time for the traditional sanding phase. He uses various tools to smooth out imperfections, panel gaps, and casting marks on the shell. With the prep work done, it's time for modifications. Huge 3D models and resin prints a highly aggressive body kit to upgrade the car's most noticeable feature. Resin 3D printing works by using UV light to cure photosensitive resin, instantly solidifying it layer by layer to build the model from the liquid vat. Here's the final printed result, looking much fiercer than the original. Since we only need the lower half of the bumper, the excess is carefully cut and sanded away. Similarly, the original front bumper on the shell must be cut off. Then, he uses super glue to attach the newly printed front bumper and side skirts. To ensure a seamless transition, Bondo putty is used to fill in any gaps between the parts. Finally, the rounded rear bumper is upgraded to match the aggressive vibe. With a quick snap of his fingers, the exterior mods are finished and the gray primer is laid down. For the base coat, he chooses a highly saturated metallic blue. The grille and lower intakes are painted with a matching black finish. Afterwards, a layer of high-gloss clear coat is applied for protection and shine. This is how it looks once the paint dries. It seems fine from afar, but up close, the severe orange peel effect ruins the entire finish, which is totally unacceptable. To fix this, Shuj begins a meticulously detailed wet sanding and polishing process. The so-called orange peel effect occurs during the curing process when uneven surface tension and poor flow create a bumpy texture. Minor cases can be polished out, but severe ones require starting over completely. With the shell done, it's time to tackle the interior. After a thorough cleaning, he directly sprays the interior floor pan with a black base coat. Next, he applies a layer of glue and sprinkles fine flocking powder to create his signature carpeted floor mats. Check out the finished texture, looks premium. By mixing white powder into the paint, he creates a textured finish that scatters light, perfectly simulating the luxurious look of Alcantara leather. This incredible attention to detail is why he's hailed as a top-tier diecast restorer. The final painted texture looks remarkably realistic, and he even flocked the rear parcel shelf. The front seats received the same custom paint job, complete with seatbelt buckles. Then, the painted handbrake and gear shifter are carefully installed into position. If you look closely, the shifter's trim ring needs a quick paint touch-up. After that, the rear AC vents are also snapped into place. Next up is the entire dashboard and steering wheel assembly. Various sections are detailed with black paint and silver trim lines before putting the center console back together. To give the steering wheel an extra touch of realism, he places a tiny drop of UV resin over the central logo badge to create a beautiful 3D glass effect. Moving to the trunk trim, those colored blocks represent a first aid kit and toolbox or maybe spare motor oil, since it is a Volkswagen. Once the rear door sills are on, the interior is officially done. Next, he pairs the finished headliner with the interior tub and installs it back into the main body shell. Then, he has to recreate the missing right rear door panel. Using the surviving left rear door panel, he presses it into modeling clay to create a mirrored mold. After applying a release agent, liquid resin is poured in to cast the new part. Once the resin fully cures, it gets painted alongside the other interior panels. She also 3D prints a brand new set of side mirrors to replace the missing originals. The engine bay is in good shape, so it simply gets a fresh coat of paint before being reinstalled. He even adds a custom sound deadening pad under the hood. While he finishes assembling the headlights, taillights, and the rear hatch, let's take a moment to explain exactly what that FSI direct injection system on the engine actually is. FSI stands for Fuel Stratified Injection, an advanced technology that directly sprays fuel into the cylinders, with precise control. It boosts performance while significantly reducing fuel consumption and emissions. Stratified combustion creates an uneven fuel-air mixture. By ensuring a richer mixture right next to the spark plug, it maintains steady combustion overall, resulting in exceptional fuel economy. However, this tech relies heavily on ultra-precise calibration. Any slight deviation in injection timing or ignition can severely degrade the overall combustion efficiency. Back to the build, finally. The old wheels are ditched in favor of a fierce new set of 3D printed custom rims, complete with intricately detailed brake calipers and rotors. Once these four wheels are bolted on, this once fully trashed 5th generation Volkswagen Golf MK5 is officially restored and transformed into a true masterpiece. let's take a quick look back at what this model looked like before the restoration. That wraps up today's repair and custom build video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for visiting Max's Restoration Zone, and we'll see you next time.